Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my casa, my home in Livingston, Montana. Okay, for reference purposes, today it's Monday, Monday, April 8th of 2019. Okay, now what I'm doing here is a video, I think I'm going to entitle it like, What Happens If I Move to the State of Montana or something like that, because I have fielded one heck of a lot of questions in the last couple of weeks about the state of Montana, questions about real estate and what it's like here and there, and all of this because I opened up an email address where people could get a hold of me if they wanted to. Why did I do that? Just being a nice guy, that's all, okay? I don't mind answering questions about Montana because I'm a native. I'm 67 years old, and besides, I've lived in Montana all my life except for my military days, and then I did 16 years down in southern Idaho, okay? But I know this state, Okay, and now, I've done 2 videos in the past. If you guys want to go down through my index and look at my videos, I give 15 reasons why I like the state of Montana, and I also did a video entitled, What's Wrong with the State of Montana, okay? This video here is just, I've got 10 points on this card. I'm going to try to rip right down through here. This is just a middle-of-the-road video, giving a few positives and a few negatives, okay? This is what you can expect if you move to the state of Montana. Okay, that's my intro right there, okay? Point number 2 is, last week I've got a grandson in fact, it's my very oldest grandson, and he took a construction job outside of Jackson, Wyoming. He needed my help moving him over there. I used my pickup, a trailer that I owned, and a bunch of crap to get him moved over onto this construction site. But I like the looks of Jackson. It used to be called Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I remember back in the day, but that place, man, I could not believe what I was seeing. I didn't actually go into the town of Jackson because they changed the name, but I noticed that my grandson was working and everything, real nice looking country, and I thought, man, I'm going to go home and check on Zillow, and I'm going to check on Realtor.com and a few of these places and just get a guess of what the real estate costs in Jackson, Wyoming. The reason why I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I'm ever going to complain about the cost of living and the cost of real estate in the state of Montana. Over there in Jackson, yes, that's some beautiful country, but Jackson, Wyoming is nothing but one great big tourist trap with a bunch of real fancy shops, real beautiful country, a ski lodge, a ski lift, and all this other kind of stuff. But when I was looking at properties that were costing, man, $2, $3, $10, $20, $30 million. I seen a condominium that was only 600 square feet, 600 square miserable feet, costing $350,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here to tell you that in the state of Montana, we've got some spendy places here. We really do. But nothing as ridiculous as what I was seeing in Jackson Crap Hole, Wyoming. I could not, well, okay. That's kind of another thing that spurred this video on. Point number 3. Here's what you want to do in the state of Montana. Last year, I dealt with a few contractors to help me with the upgrades on the outside of my house, okay? I made friends with this real nice young buck here in Livingston he's got his own construction business. He takes on smaller jobs, et cetera, et cetera. In fact, I'll just say his name. His name is Paul McAllister because, he needs the business. So look up old Paul if you need something done, especially around this Livingston area. But this is what Paul told me. And this guy did not look like a BSer to me. This guy was straight as an arrow. But he told me, he said, Jim, the way the construction business is in the state of Montana, the new builds, and Paul was talking about new builds, you're looking at $160 per finished square foot. Are you catching me, ladies and gentlemen? I'm talking about the real estate here now, if you want to blow into this country and have a home built. $160 per square finished foot. Now, it's higher than that, Paul told me, if you want real fancy materials. So, okay, going by Paul's figures, he's got no reason to lie to me, ladies and gentlemen. Going by that figure right there, if you want a simple 1,000 square foot home built, and that this is not counting the cost of your lot or whatever have you, you're looking at $160,000. Okay, you following the math there? This gives you something to go by. If you don't want to fool around with new builds and stuff like that, probably the cheapest way you can go if you're determined to move into the state of Montana is buy something that's already been built. Because these new builds could get kind of spendy. This 1,000 square foot example I just got done giving you, that doesn't include the doggone cost of the lot. You might have to throw another 10 or 20,000 on top of that, because some of these lots are crazy, but not near as crazy as what I was seeing in Jackson Crap Hole, Wyoming. Holy, okay. Just as a base figure, 160,000 per square finished foot. Okay. Point number four, if you move up in the state of Montana, avoid areas that are tourist traps, because the real estate has a tendency to be very, very expensive around these tourist traps, like ski lodges, any of this kind of stuff. Up there around that Flathead Lake, up in northwestern Montana, that's Yuppieville up there. All around that Flathead Lake, if you're insisting on building a home on Flathead Lake, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay out the nose. Why? Because your land is sitting on the Flathead Lake, it's not worth it. There's other places in the state of Montana that you could get a lot better of a deal instead of you just have to be on the Flathead Lake. You see what I mean? Or you just got to have a home close to Yellowstone National Park. Or you catch it on where I'm getting here, ladies and gentlemen. If you just use your head and shop around and get it out of your head that you want to be around these touristy type places, you'll do lots better. You'll save hundreds of thousands of dollars. Point number 5, make sure that you understand if you move to the state of Montana, we have inclement weather here. We have very snowy, icy traveling road conditions. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This last winter, I did a few short little videos showing how much snowfall that we got in Livingston. And Livingston, Montana, where I live, is not even, it's one of the warmer places in the state of Montana. Just because of the geographical location of where we're at. We're in a kind of a wind tunnel here, and the wind just has a tendency of wicking the snow away, evaporating it away. We don't get a lot of snow accumulation in Livingston, Montana. Okay, but other places in the state of Montana do. So if you plan on working here, don't commute if you don't have to. Get a place that's close to your employment or wherever you think you're going to work or whatever you're doing, or start a business of your own. Okay, I'll let that rest right now. Inclement weather, and commuting is kind of it's a bummer. Okay, number 6. This is a important thing here. Living in the state of Montana is great, especially if you're into the great outdoors. Hiking, fishing, snowmobiling, camping, skiing, all this kind of stuff. Outdoor recreation rules in the state of Montana. Okay, that's point number 6. Point number 7, crime. We just simply do not have the crime in the state of Montana that exists in other places that I've watched on YouTube, like Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, Baltimore, Maryland, and all these other weird places. Where people are getting murdered, 2 or 3 people daily. That just doesn't happen in the state of Montana. Are we totally crime-free here? No. But all this racial nonsense and these senseless murders and all this other stuff just doesn't go on here. I want to make sure that I get this stuff perfectly clear. And the wages overall in the state of Montana, this is point number 8, are not all that great. So understand this. It's probably better if you tried to start your own business up here in Montana, if you could make something click. You follow me, But just going to work at these, blue-collar jobs or whatever have you, or working for Wally World or Walmart or Costco or some of these big box stores, something like this. You're not going to get rich, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reason why a lot of people don't end up, not really liking the state of Montana or whatever have you, because it's hard to make a lot of money here. But a lot of people come here for the scenery, the peace of mind, and all that kind of stuff. So you have to decide, what do you want? Do you want money or do you want peace of mind? That's about what this crap is boiling down to. Seriously. Number 9, the health care in the state of Montana ain't all that great. It really isn't, man. A lot of doctors, they want to make big money, blah, 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 work in great big hospitals, become rich, famous, important. You ain't going to get that job done in the state of Montana. I know, I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I get some of the crappiest health care that you can possibly imagine, but you can blame that on the VA, because I'm 70% adjudicated for war injuries. Now, I got a real bone to pick with the VA because they are not taking proper care of me. It's that simple. That was number 9. Okay, number 10. This is what I've got to tell anybody that watch, all 3.5 people that watch this video. Because I'm not a big channel. I don't get a lot of visitors or whatever have you. It doesn't bother. I don't care. But if you're going to move to the state of Montana, stop sitting on the fence. Get her done. Like, what's that? Larry the Cable Guy, his famous little joke there? Get her done. Because things aren't getting any cheaper here and like that, because you've had a lot of land developers that have come up here, bought up stuff, bought up ranches. I've already complained about this. You got a lot of big money floating around. A lot of these rich yuppies have come up here and tried to take over the state of Montana, which I absolutely hate. All that kind of stuff. Because I was born in Kalispell, Montana in 1951. There was the old school Montana. I wish I could go back to those days, ladies and gentlemen, instead of the mess we got now. But going back to the very beginning of what I just said on this video, I was shocked when I looked at the prices around Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Real estate and cost of living. I mean, that is astronomical. We're talking 3 and 4 times more expensive than right here in Paradise Valley or over in Gallatin County, which is Bozeman. That's real spendy over there. So that's really all I got to say. 10 things, but the 10th one to drive this home just as far as I can. If you want to come to the state of Montana and you're sitting on a fence, ladies and gentlemen, don't let a guy like me or whatever I'm doing on my channel here dissuade you. Get her done. Stop screwing around. Stop burning daylight. You'll find out in the state of Montana we don't have a lot of daylight to burn here. So if you want to move to Montana and you want to throw your heart and soul into this country, ladies and gentlemen, basically what I'm saying, for you souls out there, get her done. Get her done. Okay, that's the end of this video. I hope somebody could sense the sincerity of what I'm doing here on this video, to help clear up. If you've been a fence sitter, I'm just hoping that this video gets you off the fence one way or the other. Thank you very much. We shall see you on down the trail, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of yourselves.